Hey there, welcome to Cooking with Mo and Deb. As you can see, it's just Mo, it's not Deb tonight. But I had an issue and I thought I'd better jump on here and make something for you guys while I had the opportunity. And the reason I have the opportunity is because, as you see, I have these wonderful bananas. Well, they were once wonderful, but now they're all brown and spotty. You see that? Who likes to eat them like that? Not me. Look, it's even falling apart. But what do you do when you have bananas like that? You don't want to just throw them away or put them in the compost bin. You want to use them and get your money's worth, right? So we're going to make some banana bread tonight. It's a really simple recipe, and if you've never made banana bread yourself, trust me, it's easy. I made it for the first time not very long ago, and it was delicious. So everybody that had some of it loved it, and so I thought I'd just share that recipe with you tonight. So I'm going to go through the recipe real quick. We're going to use 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Let me see if I can move this camera a little bit for you. 2 cups all-purpose flour. We're going to use some 1 teaspoon of baking soda. That's baking soda and not baking powder. We're going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I like walnuts in my banana bread. The recipe didn't call for that, but I like them, so they're going in. And then brown sugar. We're going to use 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 2 eggs, 1 stick of butter, and I believe that might be it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start out by putting 2 cups of all-purpose flour into a mixing bowl. So 1 and 2. All right. We need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. The funny thing is, while ago I had the baking powder out because I thought it was baking powder, but no, it's baking soda. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to add that real quick. 1/4 teaspoon. Level it off. Okay. Now I'm going to mix those dry ingredients with just a wire whisk. I don't know if you guys do that, but it's the best way to mix your dry ingredients. Another thing you can do is when you're sifting flour, if you don't like using those sifters that you just kind of wear your hands out, when you use them, you can use a sieve or a strainer and use your wire whisk and just do it around like that until it all comes through the sifter. And that's a great way to sift flour. All right, now got that mixed up, and in a separate bowl I'm going to cream my butter and the brown sugar, and I'm going to use my hand mixer over here, and I've got to go over here because I don't, you know, when we built this house I didn't think about putting a plug-in on my island for some reason. I've got my stove over there, but I didn't put a plug-in over there, so my bad. So I'm just going to cream this together real quick. Using my hand mixer. Easy pleasy. And see, y'all, that just looks like some yummy goodness in there, doesn't it? Looks like cookie dough. All right. Now I'm going to stir in some eggs. And what I'm going to do with them is I'm going to mix them up in a small mixing bowl. These are eggs that my friend Carol brought me. She has chickens, and these are yummy brown eggs. And I tell you, my favorite part of her eggs that she brings me is when you get these brown eggs from the farm. They have nice orange yolks. They're not the yellow yolks or the light yellow yolks like you get from the store. They are bright and orange. Can you see that? See how orange they are? And they are so good to scramble them for breakfast or anything like that. They're just delicious. And so to the eggs, I'm going to stir them up really quick, and I'll just use this same little whisk that I used in the flour. Now into that, I'm going to take my bananas, y'all. And I've got 3, and I think that's gonna be enough. The recipe calls for 2 cups of bananas, which I didn't mention that to you a while ago. But all I'm gonna do is just break it up and put it into the egg mixture. A bad part on there, I just do not like overripe bananas. Do y'all? I really don't. So years ago, I worked in a grocery chain. I worked for a grocery chain in Chattanooga, and it was called Red Food Stores. It was a locally owned company. It started in Chattanooga. It was a great place to work. But anyway, I worked in the main office, and in the warehouse where they kept all the groceries, they had banana ripening rooms. I had never heard of that. I didn't know anything about how bananas actually came to us from the tropics. But in those banana ripening rooms, there were these huge rooms, and what they would do is they would bring in the bananas, and they would be just as green as you can imagine. They pick them very green, then they bring them in and they put them in this banana ripening room, and then they turn on some gases to gas them up and make them ripen so they can take them to the store, and consumers like us will buy them, because I don't think we don't really like to buy the ones that are like super green, do we? I mean, sometimes I'll get them if I'm not going to eat them right away, and then I've noticed too that sometimes you get them and they just never really ripen right. So I don't know what that's about. So now I'm just taking my fork and mashing in these bananas into the eggs. So these are the yellowest eggs I've ever seen. Look, it looks like I got mustard in there. It's gonna be good. Right. Okay, when I get this mashed up, shouldn't take me just another minute. It smells really good. I just love the banana flavor and the smell of bananas. I just love it. Reminds me of the tropics. Okay, now I'm going to take my bananas and my egg mixture, and I'm going to put them into my brown sugar and butter. Combine them together. By the way, I forgot to tell you, I do have my oven preheated at 350. So I'm going to take a spoon and just mix this up good. You don't really have to use your mixer anymore. We're going to use a spoon. So I'm mixing up the brown sugar, the butter, the eggs, and the bananas. Just mix, mix. So I've got that pretty well mixed up. And now I'm just going to take this mixture and I'm going to pour it into, I'm going to put about half of it into my flour mixture. And then I'm just going to fold it in. Let me turn this around. This glass bowl is the Pampered Chef batter bowl. I started to say it was Batter Easy bowl, but it's the batter bowl, and it's one of their more popular items. And of course, I purchased it from Debbie, my favorite Pampered Chef lady in the whole wide world. Whoops, I tend to make a mess when I cook. I don't know about y'all, but I do. I make a mess, a big old mess. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of this in here. Oh, it smells so good. Just folding it together into the flour mixture. And it's going to make a pretty good thick batter, sort of like a little bit thicker than cake batter, but not as thick as like bread dough. So, all right, I think I about got it here. Now, I told you I like to put walnuts in mine. You can add pecans if you want to. That's also really good in banana bread. But I'm a nut girl. I love to put nuts in things. Now my daughter doesn't like, when I put nuts in brownies, she doesn't want to eat them. So I usually, if I'm making a pan of brownies and I know she's going to be eating them, I'll usually make half the pan with nuts and half without. But I am going to put nuts in this banana bread. I just think it really, really makes it better. So I'm putting 2/3 a cup of chopped walnuts in there. And I did do my chopping using another Pampered Chef item. What do with it? Oh, here it is. The chopper that, and you just put your nuts in this part, give it a few whacks, and then you put it in your recipe. Really great product. It's probably the first Pampered Chef product I ever ordered years ago, and I just I've about worn that one out, so I just bought me a new one. A friend of mine was having a party, and I said, I know what I want. I want to get a new chopper. So luckily for me, they haven't changed it at all. It's still the same, and I love it. Okay, so that is mixed up really good. Now I am going to spray my baking dish with some Pam olive oil spray, and that's just so it won't stick at all. I'm going to do it over here by the sink so I don't make a mess. Sides and bottom, like that. Okay. And now I'm just going to put the mixture in the baking dish, my loaf pan there. Oh, let's see, some I didn't get mixed up really good. Maybe I can fix that. There we go. Easy peasy. And this is just a really good recipe. Okay, and just flatten it out there. Move the camera so you can see. I don't know if you can see that or not. We're almost dumped it out. So now I'm going to go ahead, put it in the oven. Now it does take a long time to bake, y'all. I'm going to bake this at 350 for an hour, so 60 minutes, and then I'll test it, you know, insert a toothpick, see if it comes out clean, and then see if it's done. But I have a feeling it'll be done at 60 minutes. So I'll be back and show you the finished product. Hey, it's been about an hour since we put the banana bread in the oven. So let's check and see if it's done. I believe it is, judging by the smell in my house. Oh yeah. So here is our fresh baked banana bread. Doesn't that look yummy? Y'all know what I'm gonna do with it? I'm gonna slice me a piece of it, and I'm going to smother it with butter, because that's how I like to eat it. I know, I'm on a diet, but you know what? I can't resist good fresh banana bread, and you won't be able to either. And you know, everybody loves banana bread. So when you have those overripe bananas, don't throw them out. Make some banana bread. The recipe's down in the comments, so it's a really easy recipe. I hope you enjoy making it as much as I do. See you later.